In today's video, 2-year recession coming our way. It's predicted that the UK economy is going to be in recession for the next 2 years, taking us to 2025. It's even being compared to the Great Depression of the 1930s. If it does last 2 years, it'll be the longest recession on record. Basically, all recession is the economy is shrinking rather than growing. Food, fuel and energy prices have all been increasing recently, as we all know, and inflation is currently running at 10%. The current prediction is that inflation should peak around 11% rather than the initial 17% that some experts were talking about just a few months ago. Food inflation on its own, however, is still running at around 12 to 14%. Unemployment is likely to increase. It's currently running at around 3.4%, which is the lowest it's been since 1974. It's expected to peak at around 6.4%. Graduates, students and school leavers are probably going to be the ones that are hardest hit in finding their first job. Mortgages have been a large part of the inflation problem. I covered this in an inflation video, so please check out the rest of the content on the channel to find that. But to sum up, the problem with 2-year mortgages is that people basically become more vulnerable quicker, as they have to remortgage reasonably quickly. These types of mortgages have all but disappeared from the market as the interest rates have increased. Mortgage rates will remain high for some time yet, affecting those that have to renew their product. Currently, the offer of around 5 to 6% is the norm. Inflation will eventually come down. Thankfully, we won't be hitting that 17% as predicted, and it's more likely the 11% figure will be hit soon. By 2025, hopefully inflation rates should be coming down, and with fingers crossed and all things going well, things should return to what we now see as normal everyday inflation rates. As inflation rates have been recalculated, so the interest rate rises being recalculated. Instead of hitting over 5%, it's now expected that the high should be around about 4.75%. This isn't quantitative easing, this is quantitative tightening, which is actually an interesting juxtaposition. You can't continually print money, but technically the Bank of England could actually just continue to print money, filling the hole. So in some ways it looks like there's going to be hard times for the near future, but in the longer run it's good news. Inflation rates shouldn't get so high, interest rates won't be put up so much. Everyone knows we do face a challenging economic outlook and difficult decisions ahead. Property prices have now started falling, thanks to the increased mortgage rates and the disappearing mortgage products on the market. Interestingly, throughout the pandemic, when property prices were expected to fall, they seemed to continually increase, and it was certainly a seller's market. However, it's now changed to a buyer's market, as long as they can stomach the mortgage cost. It certainly won't be happy sailing back to low inflation. Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor who was tasked with undoing all the damage that Liz Truss had managed to do in 7 weeks, has delayed his autumn statement to mid-November. Sunak and Hunt have both talked about tax rises to fill the £40 to £50 billion void that has been created. The Conservatives, the party of tax cuts, are now basically the party of tax rises. Another issue is what will happen next spring, when Rishi Sunak's policy of capping energy rates comes to an end, although actually it was a Labour policy initially. So what will be his next move? What will happen to the economy at that point? Will that affect inflation? There are, of course, many believers that tightening the purse strings at the wrong time is the wrong thing to be doing. Slower growth, higher unemployment, bigger budget deficit. But indeed, tightening the purse strings is the thing that we're doing. Remember the austerity that we were plunged into back in 2010? Borrowing costs were kept low by the Bank of England, while the Treasury imposed their austerity measures. You don't want to let your grandkids pay off your debt, do you? Said the government. But now both the government and the bank are heading in the same direction, which of course means any recession is likely to be deeper and longer. This will all mean cuts to capital spending, and many other cuts that Sunak and Hunt will continue to talk about. Do more with less, which, to be honest, seems to have been the cry of government and employers for some considerable time. And then they wonder why employees have commenced quiet quitting, which is actually a bit of an insult. Actually, that's just working to rule, or doing the job that you're paid to do and no more. So a rough ride is absolutely guaranteed for at least the next 2 years. 2025 seems to be the year that we're aiming to get inflation back under control, and hopefully at that point things will be a lot clearer and a lot better. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button, please comment, and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's great for the channel. Please check out all the other content that we've put up there, and I will see you on the next video.